Welcome to Davis Street Alumni Gym for Georgetown College men's basketball on stretch. Today, the Tigers welcome in the Phoenix of Cumberland University. Alongside Darren Douglas, I'm Jason Grieber. So glad you are here with us. Georgetown still has it rolling. The Tigers at 16-0 and 5-0 in the Mid-South Conference. They are still the unanimous number one team in the country after a blowout win Thursday on at Life. Georgetown beating the Running Eagles 76-37. The second lowest point total Chris Briggs' coach team has allowed here at Georgetown College. They held Life to just 19% shooting from the field. They'll look to keep the defensive momentum rolling today as they welcome in the Phoenix, who are 10-8 on the year and 2-4 in the league. They have dropped 5 of their last 6. We talked 2-4 in the league. However, one of those wins is against a very, very good Shawnee State team back in December. Cumberland beat Shawnee in overtime. And before we get into this one, Darren, that Shawnee State team right now, I've said it for a couple of weeks on social media. That's a team that will be in the field in Kansas City for the first time ever.
Barring a collapse.
Barring something crazy happening the rest of the year. But the way they're playing, you just don't foresee that coming. And they're going to be a problem out there. They're going to do some damage out in Kansas City as well. It's one of the best teams they've had. Coach Delano Thomas has done an outstanding job in building what has become a really nice ball club. They're 15-5 on the year, 5-2 in the league. They're ranked 25th in the country. Just the second time, I believe, in program history they're in the rankings of the top 25. They are playing well, and you look at the schedule for Georgetown. Tigers were able to go to Portsmouth a week and a half ago and beat Shawnee State, which has always been a house of horrors, as we've talked about here on the broadcast in the past.
And then some.
And then some. And Shawnee State has just gone on a tear. Apparently it ticked them off because since then they've beaten Campbellsville by nearly 40. They beat Lindsey Wilson by nearly 30. And then 2 nights ago they go to Pikeville and win by double digits.
Well, we don't know what's going on with Campbellsville right now. I know they had a lot of seniors. They've been up and down. They had a lot of seniors a year ago.
And Pikeville's had a lot of injuries to deal with.
Pikeville's got a lot of injuries.
Pikeville's struggling right now. They've dropped 4 of their last 6.
But let's give credit where credit's due. I mean, Shawnee right now is really playing about as well as anybody outside of the name Georgetown.
Absolutely.
In conference. Last year here at this place, this Cumberland team forced Georgetown to overtime. The national champion eventually, Georgetown, to overtime and had a shot at the end to win it, and just had the wrong guy with the ball in his hands out of his comfort zone to shoot the basketball.
This is a league we're looking at right now, and you know how difficult it is to win on the road in this league. I think that's the thing that's most impressive is that how hard it is in this league to win on the road, and Shawnee has done it in blowout fashion.
Right.
Their last 3 games.
Well, and Georgetown's got some of the tough trips to make. And of course, their house of horrors has always been Shawnee
and that's behind
Life.
Those are behind them now.
And those are behind them. They still have to go to Campbellsville, which is coming up Thursday. They still got to go to Cumberland. They still got to go to Cumberland. Still got to go to Pikeville. They still have to go to
got to go to Lindsey
Wilson. So, those are going to be tough games to play on the road for Georgetown. But I like the makeup of this team, especially now that we have some guys in the fold. We have one guy back in the fold. We have another one that's new to the fold. So I really, really like those additions to this team because, number one, it makes you look now like an actual college team with 11 to 12, 13 bodies on the floor.
We touched a little bit on it at the top of the broadcast, and the top of the women's broadcast, I should say. Some changes to the roster have come for Georgetown, one of which is the return of Nico Clarith. We thought he had left the team, and there you see him with the hoodie on right now getting his shot, starting his warm-up routine. We thought he had left the team in December, and we got notification a few days ago that he is back. Not sure the reason. Not number one. We were never told a reason for what we believe was a departure. Now he is back, so we'll see how he gets going here. He saw 15 minutes of action Thursday against Life. Did score 10 points. The young man coming up behind him, you see right there in the black warm-up shirt. That is the new addition to the team as well. That is Rade Kukabat. He will wear number 1 for Georgetown. He is a 6'9" transfer from Eastern Illinois University. It was with the EIU program this season. and had decided to move on. He started 19 games last year for EIU, decided to move on, thought he was going to go the grad transfer route and stay at the NCAA level. He said he wanted to continue to play now, and there you see him right there. He will make his Davis Reed alumni gym debut tonight. He played on Thursday night at Life and scored a team-high 14 points and also grabbed down 4 rebounds in the effort as well. Looking at Rade Kukabat's game, for folks that don't know, what will he bring to this team?
Well, I'll tell you what, I was here about 45 minutes before you arrived, and a lot of the men were out playing a three-point shooting game, and it was elimination by the time you got to 10 points. And what they would do, they would add for each shot that was made, and whoever missed the next shot, say there was 4 hit in a row, he got a 4 on him. So you went out by 10. Of course, Chris Coffey was always one of the ones that left early. But before you got here, Kukabat hit 9 straight three-pointers. Now, granted, it's not in a game action. There's no pressure, nobody trying to, contest the shot or anything like that. But 9 straight three-pointers. And, folks, I'm talking they had everybody move back 3 or 4 steps behind the arc. It wasn't right they were shooting close three-pointers.
Well, and you hear 6'9" at this level, and just so we're clear, he is not a back-to-the-basket player.
No.
And he's just a great athlete, but more that pick-and-pop type of mold.
He's more of a Dirk Nowitzki, although Dirk could play with his back to the basket at times, too, at 7 foot, or whoever you talk to, 6'11", 7 foot, But, the thing is, you have to understand the game of basketball, and just by talking with some of his teammates before you got here, Rade does that. He has a high basketball IQ. So you bring in another body that's 6'9". You also bring in another scorer, and then you re-add Nico Clarith. This team has to be the odds-on favorite, not only to win the Mid-South Conference regular season and the Mid-South Conference tournament. Now, I know we're not at the halfway point of the conference season just quite yet, but the way they are doing things, they can outscore people, but now they can put some lockdown defense on people.
That's the thing that doesn't get enough credit for this team this year. This is the best defensive team Chris Briggs has had, I would say, and he's already won 2 national championships, nearly 3. You look at some of the numbers, Georgetown is allowing just 65 points per game this season. By far the best in the Chris Briggs era. Only one other season they allowed fewer than 70. But comparing the title teams, obviously there's a long way to go in the season. You go back to last year's title team. This team's giving up 8 fewer points per game. Go back to the 13 title team, nearly 10 points fewer per game. So they are proving now they don't have to try to outscore you every single night. They can lock you down and shut you down defensively. Well, and, oh, by the way, you just added, as you said, the leading scorer on the team before his absence in Nico Clarith, and a 6'9" wing in Rade Kukabat.
Who can score. And here's the other thing, though. Last year's team, in those 5 games that they won in 6 days out there, folks, they let William Carey back in the ball game late. They let Arizona Christian in the game late. But Arizona Christian was a fantastic ball club.
Yes, absolutely.
William Carey just got hot from 3 right there at the right time to cut that lead down.
So all things seemingly on the right track for the Tigers, but the Cumberland Phoenix, they're going to try and play spoiler today. And hey, let's introduce you to their starting lineup. It'll begin with TJ Stargell, a 6-foot redshirt freshman out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. His 13th start of the year, 8 points, 4 rebounds per game. 6'5" junior Aaron Ridley out of Macon, Georgia, 13 points per game. He will not see the bench very often in this one. Played all 40 minutes on Thursday in the loss to Thomas More. Damari Davis, 6'6" senior from Indianapolis, 11 points, 8 rebounds per game. Jalen Duke, the leading three-point shooter in America percentage-wise at 55%. He's a 6'5" transfer from Tennessee State. And finally, Asher Bloom, the son of Cumberland women's coach Scott Bloom. He starts well. He's a 6'7" sophomore out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, averaging 5 points per game.
Well, Ridley, for those that remember him last year here at Davis Reed Alumni, he's let his hair grow out. I mean, it's major.
For Georgetown, 16-0 on the year. A win today marks the best start in the Chris Briggs era. It begins with Jake Omer, 6'1 junior from Taylor Mill, 16.5 points per game. Eljay Cowherd, 6-foot senior from Bardstown. Assist numbers have been down over the last few weeks due to what was a depleted roster. Georgetown the last few weeks really going with 7 healthy bodies. The assist numbers likely should come back up with the additions of Clarith and Kukabot. And also Jacob Conway, Chris Coffey, and Hugo Boomba going to get the start today. Kyron Jones will come off the bench. Anything to read into that?
No, I think Kyron at times has found himself pushing himself maybe to do some stuff that he's not capable of doing and getting himself in foul trouble. So I think they're bringing him out to let him just sit and get a feel for the game, how it's being officiated, how things are either being let go or called in the lane. Because he is a very physical player at 6'5", about 235.
Just the second start of the season for Hugo Boomba. Georgetown, of course, wearing the home white uniforms. Cumberland in the road maroon with white numbers and trim. This is a very long and athletic Cumberland team. Height-wise, not so much. A couple guys 6'7". We may see Heath Starkey play tonight. He is 6'11", but comes off the bench, averages just 11 minutes per night. They're athletic.
He is very wiry, too.
They play a lot of tight games. In fact, Cumberland has been outscored by their opponents by a grand total of 2 points the entire season. They are struggling coming in, losing 5 of their last 6. But as we said, do have a win over Shawnee State and also a win over Lindsey Wilson. So it should be a good one here. Georgetown looks to continue its roll. Cumberland on the road looking for the upset. And Boomba wins the tap, and we are underway.
And Cumberland's man-to-man.
Cowherd gets a screen from Boomba. Now Omer. They want Boomba posted up inside on Bloom. Good pass to the top, and Cowherd wide open. Left it well short. Boomba inside.
Oh, no.
They're going to call him for a foul as he was battling with Bloom.
Yeah, Bloom just he and Boomba got tangled up, and it looked like his foot got stepped on, and that's not a foul. I'm sorry, that's not a foul, and that's not a good way for this crew to start off with after what we had in game 1.
Here is Stargell. Around the horn they go. Ridley now on to Duke on the block. On that switch, they post up Cowherd. He rise and fire over the top. Rolls off the iron. Chris Coffey, the nation's leading rebounder, has his first. Cowherd right side to Conway. Jacob Conway, 16 points per game. Gets the first 2 here.
Tell you what,
nice reverse lay-in.
Nice little move, and that little hesitation got him separation.
Conway, of course, you remember back to our last broadcast against Pikeville, had 31. Jake Omer with the steal, and Jake Omer lays it in. He's a guy I'd really love to see go off here today. It's been struggle to find the consistency for Omer in his first year at Georgetown.
In his home area when he went back to Thomas More a week ago.
He did. Big catalyst in that win. Ridley from the elbow. Over the top, not there. How about Cowherd out jumping Duke for the rebound? And Georgetown wants to play at this pace. Conway, left side, 3. He's on.
Look out.
And immediately Jeremy Lewis says, I need a timeout. Conway got off to a similar start in that Pikeville game, and he wound up going for 31. And a smart timeout, I think, for Cumberland here. Minute 26 in, as it is now 7-0 in favor of Georgetown.
I'm not sure that the opening possession was probably what they wanted to do for Cumberland. The second possession, when you get a steal because of a lazy pass and your point guard not coming to meet the basketball, I'm not so sure I would have waited till it's 7-0 to call a timeout. You go down 4-0 because of a lazy pass and not meeting your pass. I would have probably called timeout maybe 35 seconds earlier.
This is not the start the Phoenix wanted coming on the road against Georgetown. So now they'll slow things down. Cumberland wants to play this at a slower pace. They average just 71 points per game. They want to slow it down. Working inside Davis. Here he is against Coffey. Davis through. Coffey, good challenge. It's no good. Coffey has the board. And defense has been the calling card for Georgetown this season, and it's paying dividends early on. Cowherd at the top. Looking against Stargell. Here is Omer. See how Omer works against a 6'5" defender, and how about that for a finish?
I tell you what, with the offhand too, but look for the young folks, Where'd he go? He went with the glass.
9-0 Georgetown, 2:20 in. Looking in the opening minute ever so much as the number one team in the land. Here's Ridley, now to Duke. Duke inside, hook shot over Cowherd, left it short. Good challenge by Eljay Cowherd. Cumberland is 0 for 4 from the field. Cowherd over to Coffey. He'll let a three fly. It is good! Chris Coffey's 5th three of the season. They're going to say now a long two.
But he's not a guard.
So make it 11-0. Stepped on the line. They signaled three initially and changed it to a long two. So 11-0 Georgetown.
Don't gamble, Chris.
Coffey gambled. Davis has the dunk to get the Phoenix on the board.
A little yell from the Phoenix player who got free for the dunk.
Got to get yourself going in some regard.
Yeah.
When you get punched in the mouth early, 11-0, sometimes that's what it takes. Omer, he might be on.
Look out.
If Omer and Conway get off the starts like this consistently going forward, I don't know how you beat this team.
Then you bring Clarith off the bench, who's instant offense.
And now a turnover. I like what Cumberland is doing here, posting up Jalen Duke on Eljay Cowherd. But right now, Cowherd's winning it.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job of playing him man up.
Georgetown is 6 of 7 from the field and racing out to this 14-2 lead. Brandon Levere checks in for the first time, the 5'10 junior from Columbia, Tennessee.
He's replacing a freshman,
Takes
correct?
the place of Stargell, a redshirt freshman.
Stargell's been in here as a player sitting on the bench looking at this, but different animal when you get out on the floor with this guys.
Conway over to Boomba. Good pass. Boomba lays it in, and the foul. And right now, as the foul is called on Davis, this is too easy offensively for Georgetown. They're getting anything they want, and Cumberland's going to try and change things by bringing in 6'11" Heath Starkey.
Well, unless he's a very physical force inside, his height's not going to matter a lot. Because this Georgetown team, oh my goodness, Hugo. Woo!
Talked about the assist for Eljay Cowherd and expected those to go up. He already has 3.
With these many weapons available to you, they're going to go up.
He had been averaging just over 3 in his previous 5 games coming in.
How many shy of?
16-2. Right now, Eljay Cowherd now needs 74 more assists to break George Baker's men's record.
He's got plenty of time to do it.
Inside, Starkey blocked away from behind by Conway. Cowherd on the run, 3-on-2. Chris Coffey lost it on the way up and still finished. Cumberland better be careful.
This one.
They're on the verge of getting run out of here.
This one might be ugly in a hurry.
It is 18-2.
And this is where it started, it's right down here on this end.
Levere working, gets a screen. Step back, now over to Davis. He'll try a 3. Not there. Boomba with it. Cumberland now 1 for 6. Cowherd right by Duke to the rim and is fouled.
Wow.
What a start for Georgetown. After 3 straight conference road games, you don't think they weren't excited to get back here and get home.
Yep. And here's the other thing, too. You got two of your longer-term rivals next week, and one of them is off today, and you know that some of these guys are in the building. You think there's a message being sent?
Campbellsville not playing today. They'll host Georgetown next Thursday. Cowherd hits both, 20-2. 4 minutes and 40 seconds into this game. Levere working on Omer on the drive. Got it over to nice find at the last second. Duke lays it in. Good find from Brandon Levere.
But here comes Georgetown right back at him.
Conway lays it in.
Boy, if you don't stop the basketball out high, Georgetown's going to kill you at the rim.
22-4, 5 minutes in. Levere from 15. Not there. Tapped up by Davis. Couldn't get it to go. Conway corrals it. And Cowherd wants to push.
Oh.
Boomba trying to post up Starkey inside. Couldn't do it. Now out to Conway. For the first time, we've seen Georgetown slow it down.
For them.
By their standards, yes. Coffey working against a smaller Duke. 18-footer, not there. Just a second missed basket. The other side, Ridley in transition. Missed the bunny. Coffey had it poked away from behind by Davis, who puts it back and in.
Well, first off, a bad shot at one end and then not corralling a rebound at the other for Coffey. Bad trips.
Cowherd gets a screen now against Duke in the corner. Trying to drive, breaks it off, step back three. How about that highlight? And he knew it.
Oh! That was an ankle breaker.
That's a highlight you're going to see on the Twitter later tonight. Ridley wants a three to answer. It's no good. Come on, Cowherd blocking out Duke down low. Omer didn't let it fly, and a good decision as LaVere closed late.
Yeah, well, Omer was going to let it fly, and a nice job by LaVere closing out.
Davis wanting to work against Cowherd. No communication. Bounce feed over to Conway. Conway through the lane. Scoop shot is good. And another timeout for Cumberland. This is an absolute avalanche from Georgetown, 27-6 with 13:34 to go in the first half. We have not even reached the media timeout yet.
Here's my question. They're going to take the media timeout. But here's my question. Do you want, if you are a history buff like I am, you want to know what Custer felt like at the last stand? Cumberland is in that boat right now. They are the ones feeling that there are more than 5 Georgetown Tigers on the floor. They're just everywhere.
What are you telling your team if you're Jeremy Lewis right now in the huddle?
You got to slow it down. You're trying to play at Georgetown's pace with the guys he has on the floor. You can't do that. You cannot come into this building and try to run with Georgetown when you're not accustomed to doing that. Now, the only 2 teams I've seen be able to come in here and run, well, 3, Life, Campbellsville at times, and U-Pike. But those latter 2, when they've tried, have been run out of the building on times too. So, you know, when you are a ball control team and you try to use as much of the 30-second shot clock as you can, you can't do this.
And I'd be asking my team on the other end, did we leave the defense on the bus? Because Georgetown has carved up this defense to shreds.
Yeah. And they have shot well, and we finally –
I'd say so. Georgetown's 11 of 13.
You know, we're 6.5 minutes in, and we've yet to make a sub yet for Georgetown.
LaVere working inside, hesitation, kicks it out. Duke out to Davis. He'll try 3. Not there. Chris Coffey that time beats Starkey for the board.
With both hands this time.
Omer bumped by LaVere. We play on.
That would have been a foul in game 1.
Yes, it would have. Omer still working on LaVere.
Oh,
good bounce
nice
feed over to Boomba.
Look out.
This is getting ridiculous. I shouldn't say it's getting ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
It is getting ridiculous.
29-6.
How many paint points for Georgetown right now?
Ridley working against Conway. Fall away from 15. No, and Coffey has the board.
Cumberland now. He was getting 15 tonight, didn't he?
Omer, crossover move. The drop pass off to Boomba. Coffey finally finds it. Can't get it to go, but he is fouled.
Well, I tell you what, Georgetown right now, does this look like a team that Chris Briggs and his staff have looked at him and said, hey, you go as hard as you can for as long as you can. We'll get you out. I got more bodies on this bench that I can go to now. And we're seeing that effort right now in the first 7.5 minutes.
Chris Coffey off to a good start, as he always does. 4 points, 5 rebounds. Free throw shooting has been a struggle for him in the conference, under 50%. That one off to the left.
Well, in his career, too, it has been a struggle. This is not his forte. His forte are highlight slams, rebound the basketball both offensively, defensively, and the goofiness that he brings.
Ridley checks out for Cumberland, sitting on the bench, and he looks whipped.
Yeah.
Second one for Coffey, rattles out.
About the only thing we've done wrong here in the first 7.5.
Bloom straight away. He'll let a 3 fly. It's well short. And that's over to Georgetown. Bloom, not a three-point threat, just 6 of 26 on the season. But when you're down 29-6, and not even 8 minutes in, you got to try something, I guess.
And right now you've scored less points than time off the clock.
Cowherd on the left wing.
Oh, man, they leave Cowherd, and he let that – whoa.
trying to say he was possibly fouled by Starkey. Nothing there.
No,
that's just a whiff.
Yeah,
and he makes up for it with a steal here. Boomba up ahead. Not a good decision. Coffey trying to poke it away. Levere eventually tracks it down. Numbers for Cumberland, 4-on-3. Good feed down low. Boomba went for the swat, and he'll get called for the foul on Bloom.
He got the ball, but the elbow got Bloom in the head.
Yeah, I think the way he kind of brought his arm down, too. That'll be Boomba's second foul. We finally reached the under 12 timeout. 11:55 remaining, and Georgetown has come out with haymakers early. Cumberland is yet to get up off the mat. Tigers lead 29-6 on stretch. (29-6) in favor of Georgetown with 11 minutes and 55 seconds to go in the first half. Jaquay Wales and Kyron Jones will now check in for Georgetown for the first time.
Given Eljay and
let's see, Hugo Boomba checks out with two fouls.
Yeah.
Still awaiting the arrival tonight of not only Nico Clarith, but the Davis Reed Alumni Gym debut of Rade Kukabat. Asher Bloom at the foul line, 72% on the season for the Fort Wayne, Indiana native, and good.
I tell you, though, this right now, look, watching this defense that Georgetown has displayed so far here in the first 8 minutes plus. Oh, boy. We thought that defense in the national championship game was pretty good. This one.
They are putting up numbers, the Tigers are defensively, that we have not seen since Happy Osborne was the head coach. And we'll get into that as we go along.
Yeah, this one has a bigger.
Omer with the hesitation. Somehow found Coffey, lost it on the way up, but is fouled. I think Bloom got him on the arm.
Tell you what, this team shares the ball so much better. Of course, you have all those weapons.
Talked about the defense here, and as Chris Coffey, free throw off the mark. Coffey's 0 for 3, and now we see the Davis Reed Alumni Gym debut of Rade Kukabat, 6'9" junior from Chicago. Made his Tiger debut Thursday at Life, but this is the first time he's playing on the home floor here. Transfer from Eastern Illinois. He is a junior, so we'll likely see him back next year as well. Coffey finally gets one to go for his 5th point, 30-8.
Well, he shot so many bricks in that game I was talking about earlier, it's carried over to the foul line.
And not a good start for Coffey, 1 for 4. Stargell, now to Davis at the top, now Duke. Is yet to look for the outside shot. Stargell trying to cross over on Wales. Jaquay Wales sticking with him the whole way. Nice jumper from TJ Stargell falling away.
That's a good shot, but nice challenge shot. And again, though, it came only 15 seconds into the shot clock.
Kukabat lost it there. He was going up with it as soon as he corralled it. Just took his eye off it for a moment. Omer working on Stargell. Spin over to Coffey on the baseline and put 2 more on the board. You talked about the distribution, the sharing of the basketball. That's now 7 assists tonight for Georgetown on 13 baskets.
That's pretty daggone good.
Anytime you can have the assist rated over 50%, you're doing some good things. Stargell on the drive, bumped by Coffey, no foul called. He has the board.
Here
now
they come.
Kukabat shuffles it back to Wales. Georgetown spreads for a 5-out offense right now with Kyron Jones deep on the wing. Negron checking Omer. He drops it off to Coffey at the last second. Through the lane, Coffey, beautiful finish. That is outstanding from Chris Coffey.
This is a beatdown of epic proportions right now.
Coffey on his way to his 11th double-double. He has 9 points and 6 rebounds already. Here is Davis going to work against Coffey and face up. Now back him down. Davis, fall away. Good defense from Coffey. Better shot from Davis.
Nothing you can do about that. That's a forced shot early in the shot clock, though, for Cumberland again.
Give Davis credit. He made the play. He now has 6. Rade Kukabat, welcome to Davis Street Alumni Gym, and says, hey, hello, I made a 3 here.
The first one off the bench to celebrate it was Nico Clarith.
Duke out deep. His first three-point attempt rattles in.
Well, that thing went everywhere, all over that rim, and then backed up onto the heel and dropped.
That's his 37-3 of the season. He is the nation's leader in three-point percentage at 55%. Homer picks it up out of Wales. First 3 of the afternoon for the Phoenix.
You got a couple of little lightning-quick guards for Georgetown right now.
Kukabat, face up, not there. Left it short. Stargell going to try and go coast to coast there. Wales with the challenge. Went up off the glass. Cumberland trying to say that should count. I agree with him. And they will indeed count the basket. I think.
Nope. No, they're going to count
They are going to count. I think that's a good call. The foul was committed by Wales, and then Kukabat came and smacked it after it was already on the glass.
I agree, but here's what I don't agree with. The underneath official, who's the lead official, he counted the basket. He shouldn't be looking at that thing and going. He's got 2 partners to help him out. And they both were saying no good.
So Stargell has a chance at a 3-point play. There you are. He has 5. He's a 68% foul shooter line. So Cumberland has settled down now just a
little bit.
Down to a 19-point lead at 37-18. Kukabat sets a screen. There's that pick and pop. Wales, what a feed. What do you do when you get a good screen at the top and the speed of Wales?
That's almost close over back there.
You put the big down low in an impossible position. Stargell over to Negron. Jalen Negron in. Now to Duke. Duke, follow it from the elbow. Good looking. He's got a good-looking stroke.
If you're Kyron Jones, you better get up in his lunch and tell me what he had for pregame meal.
Because he is the type of guy, Duke is, that can shoot this Cumberland back into this game. Wales trying to find space around Kukabat. It leads to an Omer 3 that's way off the mark. And Davis eventually clears it, and we've got
Stargell's got a back problem. I don't know if he's got a spasm or if he got hit in it. The way he's acting, it's a spasm.
Looks like Ridley will take his place.
I've had back spasms. Them suckers hurt.
Holding the right side.
I don't know if he got hit or it's a spasm, but he went down.
8:10 to go in the first half.
That wasn't a good shot by Jake. We've been getting everything we wanted,
especially down at the rim.
Right. That first pass off the half-court offense is not going to get that.
Negron trying to settle up the offense. And this is what Cumberland wants. This is exactly the type of offensive set they want to run under 10 seconds. Negron trying to find a Davis. Coffey flashed in front. Shot clock down to 3. Davis has to hoist it and hits it. Just his 10th 3 of the season, and Cumberland's chipping away at it down to 16.
Well, Georgetown's, with this group off the bench, their intensity levels kind of dropped a little.
Wales working on Davis inside. Coffey has another dunk and the foul. Ridley came in late with the contact, and Chris Coffey will go back to the line as Ridley picks up his first foul.
That's the best way to stop a run. Get one right at the rim.
Go right back inside. So Chris Coffey at the line now. He has 13 points already. But he's now 1 for 5 at the foul line as Wales tips that one out over to Cumberland. Posh Posh into the game for the first time as Chris Coffey will get his first breather. Posh Posh returned to action on Thursday after missing a few games.
I think had 2 points, I think.
Limited action as he's working his way back into game shape. He'll be defending Jalen Duke on this possession. Still 7:15 to go in the half. Here is Ridley down low working against Wales, and he draws the foul as Wales went for the swipe. That is the second on Jaquay Wales and the team's 4th. And Eljay Cowherd's already perked up and ready to check in. He was already standing up saying, Coach, that's 2.
And Briggs didn't even look at him.
They're going to ride it out. They're going to ride it out for now. Here is Duke. Good closeout by Posh. And
wow.
Pass too hot there for Negron to handle, and it's over to
No, that wasn't too hot. Negron just took his eye off of it.
4th turnover for the Phoenix.
That pass was perfect. If you're turning an offense over, that's where you want it if you're the coach. And
both these teams do a fairly good job of taking care of the ball. Cumberland just 13 turnovers per game. Georgetown 12. Omer with the left hand through the lane. Nice finish with the left hand all the way through.
We're seeing what he did at Rupp Arena a few years back.
Much more in control early in this one.
And all of a sudden it's back up to 20.
The defense chant also coming from the Georgetown bench. Oh, Wales could have had one there. Ridley now to Davis, working against Jones as Georgetown switches Jones defensively. Bullet pass out to Duke, who nearly had his legs taken out by Negron. Ridley working against Wales down low, just backs him down.
Yeah.
Good move from the Phoenix to get the smaller Wales. We've seen Cumberland do that in this first half, backing down both Wales and Cowherd on the block.
Well, Eljay's a little bit stronger than Jaquay is.
Omer working against Negron.
He's got that look in his eye right now.
He wanted to let it go. Now Wales. Kukabot from 17,
Short.
Not there. And
Look
Duke
out.
comes flying through.
Posh and Jones about took each other out. Uh-oh, Mr. Offense.
Davis working down low, and Kukabot's going to get called for the foul with the body contact. That is Kukabot's first foul and the team's 5th. We'll have a timeout on the floor, and on the other side, Nico Clarith returns to Davis Reed Alumni Gym. He re-entering the fray with his team leading 43-25, 5:52 to go in the first half on Stretch. .552 to go in the first half.
Sorry about that, partner.
Georgetown leading 43-25. Cumberland will inbound the ball with 21 to shoot.
Got some friends of mine texting me. My friend Kevin down there says, is it raining as much? He said it's all the animals lining up 2 by 2 in Texas.
Had a lot of rain. And before we can inbound the ball, Cumberland can't do it. They got to call a timeout, and TJ Stargell is hot at some of his teammates as Ridley could not find a way to get the ball in, so the Phoenix have to spend a timeout. He's talking a lot with Jalen Duke and also Heath Starkey. And a good job by Starkey to calm down the redshirt freshman who just couldn't find a way to get open to receive the entry pass.
Nobody was moving. Nobody set a screen. And, and again, I told you, the easiest person on the floor to guard is a person who's stationary. And Georgetown's defense will do that to you.
So Cumberland will try it again out of the timeout.
That's the third timeout they've used in this half.
Yes, it is.
So they're down to their half of their 6 allotment.
Clarith will defend the inbound once again. You see him right there, Nico Clarith with his hands up. Ridley looking again. They're trying to find a way to Duke, and he had to finally throw it deep out to Duke near the timeline. Here's Ridley this side. Working against the smaller Nico Clarith. Clarith poked it away from behind. Ridley down on the floor to get it. Eventually finds his way to Cowherd. Great defense by Nico Clarith. Left side, Clarith. You give him that kind of space, you're paying for it.
Guess what?
He's
Another
back.
Outside shooter.
That's his 40th three of the season, 46-25. He's been Georgetown's leading scorer the entire year, and he started 2 games. Stargell from 18, good. Wasn't a good-looking redshirt freshman is T.J. Stargell. He has 7.
But right now he's playing at Georgetown speed. That's not what the Cumberland staff wants. They want to run that shot clock down.
Cowherd over to Jones. Couldn't get it. Posh through the lane. Scoop shot, no good. Cowherd gets the offensive board. Out to Clareth. Now to Kukabot.
Trying to kick it back.
And good job by Ridley to read it. Now back to Clareth. The lane is wide open. Clareth's going to take the 3 anyway, and that's an air ball. Jones could not save it in. Stepped on the end line.
He was on the end line before he left.
Yeah, Chris Briggs, a little bit of a wry smile there. I think seeing right now, Clareth a little excited to get back into the swing of things here after he missed a bunch of games. And not a good shot selection that time. One of the few times we've been able to say that here in the first half for Georgetown, as they're once again on the verge of another 50-point half. This is Davis being checked by Jones. 2 able-bodied men on that side, and they are men. Duke.
Nice job.
Blocked by Posh. Davis inside, gets it though.
Yeah, nice job from Posh.
Davis trying to keep his team in this one. He has 11. Here is Kyron Jones working against Starkey. Nearly stepped on the end line. He's going to the line as Starkey came down with the hand. Starkey doesn't agree with the call.
I had something to say to one of the officials, and first time it's going to happen to you is like, guess what? He's not going to listen, and the second time there's a close call like that, he's going to go get you. Now he's saying something to the other official, and the worst thing you don't want to do is get 2 of the 3 guys in stripes on your against you.
Kyron Jones at the line. He has not been a good foul shooter this year at 48%. Georgetown as a team, about the only thing they've done wrong in this game is the Tigers are 3 of 9 from the line. As Starkey comes out, good move by Coach Lewis, I think, to get Starkey out, let him cool down.
Well, and
Jones again, not even close.
Yeah, Starkey didn't want to hear it, but guess what?
Inside, somehow stayed with the Phoenix possession. Bloom 3, no good. Posh has it. Clareth, no numbers.
Good
Into
move.
Jones in the corner, now gets it back.
Boy, I tell you, that was a smart play by Clareth there. He had a lane, but decided to pull it out and get something a little bit better.
Clareth working against Ridley now, trying to split a double team. Step back, long 2, not there. Jones, I think, just mistimed his jump enough for Stargell to tap it away.
He did.
3:35 to play.
Gotten a little stagnant here offensively.
Not as much dribble penetration. Stargell gets some penetration, kicks it out to Davis for an open 3.
They've got it down to 14, partner.
Davis hit just 9 threes on the year. He's already hit 2 today. 46-32, still 3:20 to go in the first half. Cumberland's done a nice job settling down after the early onslaught. Georgetown, remember, led 29-6. Kukabot trying to post up. Not a good pass from Posh.
Nope.
Threw it right at his legs. This side, Ridley down the lane, and Clareth draws the offensive foul and an easy call. Ridley doesn't like it, but Clareth was there and waiting. It's Ridley's 2nd and the team's 7th. Coffey returns, as does Conway, replacing Kyron Jones and Posh. And for Cumberland, Jalen Negron will check back in for Ridley, who will likely sit the rest of the half with 2 fouls.
Well, I think that's one thing with Nico that was lost in his first half of the season onslaught offensively, was the fact he is a really nice defender as well.
Clareth now to Coffey, working against Davis. Coffey trying to show the handle, out to Kukabot. His 3, no. Coffey has the board on the weak side. Put back, not there, but he is going back to the line.
Tell you what, he told us he was going to have 15, or no, he said 50, and we said, you mean 15?
You're talking about rebounds.
Yeah. He said, yeah, well.
Chris Coffey currently sits 6th on the all-time rebounds list at Georgetown. He passed Victor Moses on Thursday night for that spot as he bricks another free throw. He is 1 for 6 at the line and now 12 for 29 in league play.
And Conway's a pretty good free throw shooter, trying to coach him up.
Coffey needed coming into today. Now, as we update the numbers, 45 more rebounds on the season as he finally gets one to go. First 14 points, 45 more rebounds to pass DeAndre McWhorter for 5th all time. He and Troy Stewart just beginning their professional basketball season down in Australia. We wish the best to them. Back here, though, 15-point lead, 2:30 to go in the first half. Here is Stargell.
Nice show by Chris.
Davis wants to try another three. That one's way off the mark. Conway has it. Conway got a lengthy breather after a hot start. Here is Cowherd over to Conway. Thought Conway was going to stop and pop with the three. Instead, backs it out to Cowherd. Cowherd on the baseline. There's Coffey on the baseline run.
Look out below.
That is a staple of the Georgetown offense, and every time dribble penetration has been had, Coffey has had a dunk. He has 16.
Is he at the double-double yet?
He's got three more rebounds to go, but you know that's coming. He's third in the NAIA with 10 double-doubles on the year. Clareth pokes it away again. Cowherd, no-look pass to Conway. Out Clareth, good shot fake through the lane, over to Conway. The extra pass, that is beautiful basketball.
I tell you what.
That is outstanding.
Whatever happened with Nico before the end of the first half of the season, he's sharing the basketball ridiculous. That was a great defensive move down here, and then a great look into the corner to Conway.
That is the 13th assist for Georgetown. Conversely, Cumberland has 13 made baskets. Davis, Duke behind the screen. Such a good form. His second three, Duke now has 10. He and Davis have combined for 24 of the Phoenix 35.
He turns around and puts his hands to his mouth to silence the Georgetown crowd, but need a little bit, few more than those.
Under a minute to go. This is the end it has to pick up. Georgetown shooting 68% from the field. Conway misses one there. Coffey going to get called for going over the back of Davis. That's Chris's first and the team's sixth.
I'm not so sure that Davis didn't jump into him as Coffey was flying through the air to come with that rebound, but you got to do anything you can when there's a guy playing way above your head.
40 seconds to go in the half. I have to think Cumberland would think it's a win if they could get to the half down by 15 or less. Inside, Duke off the curl, fouled by Clareth.
Tell you what, that was a nice curl play along the baseline by Cumberland, and Clareth was in good defensive position, I thought, to challenge the shot of Duke. Didn't need to bring the arm down, and did. And 9 times out of 10, you're going to get called for that foul by bringing your hands down.
Duke, the leading scorer on the year for Cumberland, at 17 points per game. Too strong on the first free throw. He's a good foul shooter at 80%.
I was going to say, I mean,
he struggled the other night in the loss against Thomas More, scored just 7. And this is an area that Cumberland did not really see a lot at the foul line in that three-point loss. Cumberland was just 1 of 3 from the line for the game.
Wow.
And tonight they're 4 for 5. Cowherd in the front court, about a 1-second differential between game and shot clock as it reads now 20 to go in the first half. Cowherd with a smile on his face. He's talking trash with Stargell right now.
Stargell trying to take a peek at the clock, but
shot down to 10. Cowherd with a hesitation in the left hand, out to Clareth. Around 1, through the lane. Clareth, great job to avoid Duke and lay it in. Duke was set up for the charge, and Clareth guided right around him to lay it in.
Man, is that fun to watch?
Boy, what a first half offensively for the Georgetown Tigers. They shoot 66% from the field in the first half. And as we stand as the teams head to the locker room, the Tigers comfortably ahead. Number 1 Georgetown 54, Cumberland 36. The Tigers 20 minutes away from the best start ever under Chris Briggs here at Davis Reed Alumni Gym. As you can see, just a few minutes away from starting the second half of basketball here at Davis-Reed Alumni Gym. Georgetown leading Cumberland by a score of 54-36. Alongside Darren Douglas, I'm Jason Griefer. We thank you so much for joining us. Georgetown got off to a blistering start, racing out to a 29-6 lead 8 minutes into the game. Cumberland, though, eventually settled down, started chipping away at things, headed up under 15 at one point before Georgetown, with a couple of buckets late, gets it out to where it stands right now at an 18-point margin in favor of the Tigers. Georgetown shoots 67% from the field in the first half, 22 of 33 in total, 6 of 12 from the three-point line. Free throws have been the issue for Georgetown offensively. The Tigers are just 4 of 12 from the line, and in particular, Chris Coffey, 2 for 7 from the charity stripe in the first half.
If there's anything we're going to criticize him about that free throw shooting. He got much better down the stretch a year ago, especially in the national tournament. He had some big free throws in a game to stave off William Carey there. It was the quarterfinals, I believe, right? So, he just had, he's got to understand that people are going to put him on the line, and he really did a nice job of doing that down the stretch a year ago. He's got to step up that if he wants to finish up his career in that national championship game again.
Georgetown, 13 assists in the first half, 7 of those from Eljay Cowherd, and that has been a spot that has been missing from Georgetown over the last few weeks because of the depleted roster. The last 5 games, Eljay had not had more than 4 assists in any game. He has 7 in the first half, getting back on pace to break George Baker's Georgetown College men's record of 626 career assists. Eljay now sits 70 shy of that mark. On the other side for the Cumberland Phoenix, again, settled down after the early haymakers at Georgetown threw. Cumberland winds up shooting 48% from the field in the first half, 14 of 29, 4 of 10 from downtown, 4 of 5 at the line. Damari Davis, 14 points to lead the way for the Phoenix. Jalen Duke with 11. TJ Stargell with 7. No bench points in the first half for the Phoenix. On the other side for Georgetown, 8 bench points. 5 of those coming from Nico Claret, the other 3 coming from Rade Kukabat, who hit a 3 early on in this game. Georgetown also doing yeoman's work, taking advantage of Cumberland mistakes. Told you during the first half, both these teams do a very good job taking care of the basketball. Cumberland has only 7 turnovers. You got to think that's pretty good for a first half here against the #1 team in the country. Georgetown's turned that, though, into 12 points. That's one of the big differences in the game. Georgetown getting out and running, and for most of this first half, playing it at the pace the Tigers want.
Free and carefree. I mean, it just, that's what Georgetown loves to do. They love to push the limit of how fast they can make other teams play. Now, what's scary about this team on the floor for Georgetown now, no matter who's on the floor, this is a pretty good defensive team right now. They're nowhere near what they could be defensively, however, come postseason time. Now, think about that.
It came out flying early on.
How many steals they have in the first
Cumberland
half?
Came in there. Georgetown credited with 4 steals in the first half. And Cumberland settled in, started hitting some shots. So Georgetown not quite at the defensive pace we've seen over the last handful of games in Mid-South Conference play. Still not a bad effort in the first half, but I think Chris Briggs would say he'll expect a little bit more here in the second half. Let's talk a little bit about those defensive numbers while we have the opportunity here before the second half begins. Georgetown came into tonight the second best field goal percentage defense team in America at 36%. And coming into this season, a Chris Briggs coached Georgetown team had never finished higher than 10th in America. Right now they're sitting at number 2. We talked about the points per game allowed. That has been off the charts as well. And coming into this game in conference play, Georgetown had allowed 61 points or fewer in 4 straight league games. That has not happened since the 2008-2009 season. Think about that. It's been more than a decade since Georgetown has had this type of run, and even since Chris Briggs has been the coach, Georgetown had not allowed anything fewer than 62 points in any league game the last 2 years. And yet they've done 61 or fewer in 4 straight coming into this one. They'll need a better effort, more sustained, I would say, defensive effort in the second half to hold Cumberland below that 61 line again. But nevertheless, we always talk about the offensive prowess that a Chris Briggs coach team has, and rightly so. Georgetown's still the second highest scoring team in America, averaging 96 points per game. But they've shown, especially over the last few weeks with really just 7 healthy bodies, that the ability to lock teams down and shut them down.
Yeah, and it all started with that national championship game last year. That was, you and I looked at each other on several occasions during that game, both on and off the air, and go, is that the same team we've been following all year?
And now it's become the expectation. Yeah. To your point, it has carried over into this season. We begin the second half here with Georgetown leading by 18, and both teams sending out their original starting 5. The starting 5 for Cumberland has accounted for all 36 points. Jalen Duke just lowered his shoulder into Cowherd, no call, and he hits the jumper.
I tell you what, that's the epitome of dislodging somebody. Now, Eljay sold it really good too, but that's a charge, folks. That's called dislodging a defender and moving.
So Duke with 13 and the first points of the half for the Phoenix. Conway got off to a hot start early, can't finish there, and good challenge by Duke. He has the rebound. First 5 minutes here, I think, going to be critical for Georgetown, especially on this end. Can they bring the same energy they did to start this game?
Omer now on Duke on the switch.
Here's Davis working on the baseline against Coffey. Fall away from 5. Way too strong. Cowherd has it. His 5th rebound. Cowherd working against Stargell. Fakes the handoff. Now going to drive baseline. Cowherd inside. Pinned underneath, and Stargell commits the foul. TJ Stargell's first.
Stargell kind of glared at him, and that's just a senior who's been through the wars, taking the young redshirt freshman who's still learning the ropes of the Mid-South Conference to school.
Cowherd rattles in the first for point number 6. You can see a little bit of Eljay Cowherd in TJ Stargell, I think. Similar body style, similar types of play. They'll both let you know when they're on the floor, not afraid to show emotion. I think it's just going to be a matter of time. I think Jeremy Lewis has a good-looking point guard here in TJ Stargell going forward.
I agree.
Cowherd hits both now for 7. Just over a minute gone by here in the second half. Here is Stargell going to work against Omer. Kicks it out to Davis. Doesn't want the 3 this time. Hit 2 of them in the first half. Hesitation move. Coffey stayed with him the whole way. Conway had the board. Coffey knocked it away from him, and Davis is the benefactor. He has 16. 56-40. Coffey hands off to Omer, who had a nice start. Omer inside, left the floater short. There is Boomba with it, pulls it back out. Boomba missed most of the first half with 2 fouls. Omer spinning, jumper not there. Boomba taps it out to himself. Here is Omer on the left side, easy lay-in. As Ridley had started running the other way, Omer says thank you very much. It's the 14th assist of the afternoon for Georgetown. Davis thought about it. Now to Bloom. Ridley has been quiet today, just 2 points. Stargell, elbow jumper, left it short, and Boomba just lets it go. Good challenge late.
Well, Coach Lewis just, he's spent a lot of time down there at Cumberland. Of course, a graduate of Cumberland University himself.
Still one of the best dressed coaches in all of the NAIA. Some of his threads put Jay Wright to shame. And his dapper game is on point here today again.
His hairstyle really puts Jay Wright to shame.
Yes, it does. There's Conway, muscles his way to the rim against Duke. Conway now with 14. It's back to a 20-point lead. Stargell slows it down. Again, Cumberland is going to look to keep it at the slower pace. Duke is 3 for 3 from downtown. Defender caught going under the screen again, and Jalen Duke making him pay.
That was Eljay that went underneath the screen. You can't do that with a good three-point shooter shooting 42% from back there.
Conway thinking. Boomba can't get space on Bloom, and now finally has the ball. Working inside, lost it, got it back, fall away from 5, trotted off the glass, wild shot. Up ahead, Ridley leaking out behind the defense, will go to the rim. Boomba disturbed it, and they're going to call a foul on the play. I think they're going to get Boomba with it. It looked like Ridley was going to have a run out and just go over the top of Omer to lay it in, but Boomba came in and challenged late, does commit his 3rd foul.
Well, see, that's one that the ball was already gone off the hand, and Boomba challenged it and blocked it, and then really just quit running. And Booma came down on top of him after the fact. So
Ridley hits the free throw. I wonder, that's the type of play where you wonder, had the ball gone in the basket, if they would have let it go.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We do see that sometimes.
Yeah, that's
Kyron Jones back in for Boomba. Booma getting his second start of the season and has just been bit by the foul bug here today. The second for Ridley, left it short, and Coffey has his 8th rebound. 60-44.
We're going to give him that as a rebound.
It's off a missed shot.
Jeez.
Omer all the way inside, can't finish. Jones couldn't handle it.
He got creamed.
Omer is down.
Yeah, he got creamed and no call there.
The other side, good closeout by Conway. Duke was ready to rise and fire. Bloom will. That is in, and it's a 13-point game. The 6-3 for Cumberland, and the Phoenix starting to sense a chance here to get back in it.
This is what they did last year here. They started slow last year, and then all of a sudden hit a stride.
Cowherd to try to answer, yes. Eljay now with 10 on his 19th three of the season, 63-47. Georgetown's 7th of the afternoon.
That rights the ship a little bit right now.
Ridley step back over. Conway, no. But inside, Stargell gets the board as neither Cowherd nor Omer put a body on him. Just the third offensive board for the Phoenix.
Yeah, it was actually Jones because Cowherd's over here matched up with Duke.
Stargell, long jumper, not there that time. Conway has it.
A lot of one-on-one from Stargell right now. Coach Lewis not happy.
Cowherd, what a bounce feed to Conway and an easy rim run. That is 8 assists for Eljay Cowherd.
Now, he is number 2, right? All time or for the men? You don't know? I'll look
Check on that at the next break.
I'll get it here.
Here is Davis at the top. Bloom wants another three. Left it well short, but Duke inside just kind of found the ball. Second effort from Davis is no good, and Davis going to get called going over the back of Coffey. And Coffey a little gimpy. Davis gets called for his second.
That's a little bit of an acting job from Chris. Chris got up and looked over at the bench and kind of gave that patented Chris Coffey smirk. I got it. Go ahead and call the play there, partner. Well, you got it.
Cowherd will inbound it here.
Quicker than I did.
Here is Cowherd in front of his own bench, working against Negron, who's back in. Over to Omer. Omer nearly had it poked away by Negron. Back to Cowherd. 15, down to 15, and Coffey gets called for a moving screen. Good call. That's his second, and the team's second. As it stands right now, Eljay Cowherd has today passed Steve Schurman for third on the all-time assist list now. Eljay currently stands with 557 in his career. 69 away from breaking George Baker's men's record. Davis, nice drive inside, couldn't finish. Tap off the glass, no good. A scrum for it, and who will come away with it? Kyron Jones did for a moment, lost it, got it back. Cowherd up ahead to Conway, behind the defense. Conway gets fouled.
That would have been a heck of an assist from Eljay had Jacob been able to finish that.
Boy, helter-skelter that was.
Bodies everywhere.
Yes.
Went to a basketball game and a hockey game broke out.
That's right. LeVere gets called for his third foul and the team's third.
Looking down to our left down here, see Coach Bill Cronin and his wife Ellen over across the way.
Now officially a Hall of Famer. He was honored last week in an AIA Hall of Fame down in Nashville.
And we know who runs that household.
It's not him.
Nope.
Jacob Conway at the line. His free throw shooting has really improved as the year has gone on. He's at 82% on the year. He now has 17 points tonight.
She is a wonderful lady, and she is.
We're talking with Assistant Athletic Director Austin Sparks down in the corner.
She is a huge supporter, not only of Tiger football, but Tiger athletics in general.
She knows the ins and outs, too.
She does. You watch her on football afternoon, on Saturday afternoon, she's down there hooting and hollering, getting the crowd into it.
Back to a 20-point lead. Davis given plenty of space by Coffey. Now to LeVere. Bloom thought about it. Jones checks him at the foul line. Tough fall away. Good defense by Kyron Jones, and Chris Coffey has his 11th double-double of the year.
Uh-oh.
Conway got space. Book it.
I give an assist to Chris Coffey.
Conway now with 21. And Georgetown spreading it back out now up to a 23-point lead. Negron bounce feed inside to Bloom, swatted away by Coffey. They're going to say Coffey got him with the body.
And, of course, he's going to get him with the body because Bloom threw that right hand out to make the contact.
That's Coffey's third and the team's third.
And Chris Briggs going to just get that little wry smile on his face right now.
Not the
and Eljay talking to the official who made the call.
On the other side, offensively, Jacob Conway is 8 of 10 from the field. Chris Coffey is 7 of 8. That'll win you a lot of ball games as Bloom hits a free throw for a 6-point.
But 4 of those are dunks. If we could dunk, we could do that
2 points is 2 points.
I agree. And he has a 3 today, folks, by the way. 1 of 1.
No, long 2. It was a long 2. They changed it to a 2. Bloom's free throw, no good that time. Coffey has his 11th board. Cowherd, bounce feed to Jones. He was hammered by Levere going inside. They'll say the foul, I believe they're going to signal it was on the floor. And they are. Chris Briggs doesn't like that, but Levere picks up his 4th as he heads out. TJ Stargell takes his place. Also Ridley coming back in for Bloom. So a smaller lineup now for Cumberland. We'll see if Georgetown looks to penetrate inside.
Levere upset with Bloom, but he didn't.
Cowherd falling away the entire time when he let that shot go. I think he was expecting Coffey to run the baseline, and Coffey stayed. Negron. 13:25 remaining. Legrand fakes the 3. Now they get it down to Ridley on the block as he's posted up on Omer. Trying to work the baseline. Good job by Omer to cut him off. And they're going to – Ridley threw it off of Omer, and then it deflected off of Ridley's shoulder while he was standing out of bounds. That is terrific post defense from Jake Omer.
That was a good job by Jake to go against a much more physical, gifted Ridley and taller.
Cowherd gets a screen from Coffey. Cowherd through the lane, lays it in.
Now, if you are able to get offensive-minded guys like Clarith and Omer to buy into defense, oh, my goodness.
Clarith had a good first half defensively.
That's what I'm saying. But if you get them to buy into defense with the rest of this group, guess what?
Duke looking forward down low. Negron tried to pass it and then pull it back. It's the 9th turnover now. Omer, step back, and banked it home. Okay. Omer now with 14. It's a 27-point lead.
And it went from 13 to 27 in a heartbeat.
Davis will try and answer. Not there. Cowherd has his 6th rebound. Looking to push the pace ahead. Crossover move. Spin in the lane. Just undressed the redshirt freshman, but then left the bunny short. He and Coffey both hit the floor. Stargell trying to go the other way. To Negron. Long 2. Good.
And now stops the bleeding a little
Cumberland
bit.
Takes a timeout. I think Coach Lewis, if anything, giving his team a chance to catch a breath.
And he's just sitting here looking. He's got the same look on his face that we've seen many coaches who come in here with their teams and going, okay, we played them at our place. Now, of course, they haven't played it in Lebanon yet this year, but this is not the same team we saw. And it is, and we said it's a different animal right now. And Georgetown comes off of a long road trip. They'll get ready to go on, for a 1-game road trip on Thursday. But they're happy to be back here, knowing that they have 2 longtime rivals waiting on them on the horizon with Campbellsville Thursday, Lindsey Wilson on Saturday. And I don't care what you're doing on Saturday. I think the Cats play at home at Rupp on Saturday. But guess what? I would come over here and watch this Lindsey Wilson-Georgetown game because it can be a classic confrontation between those 2 schools. Matter of fact, we have a Lindsey Wilson College alum sitting over there on the Cumberland bench as a grad assistant. Utoli, can't remember his last name, played at Lindsey Wilson a couple of years ago.
One other game currently going on in Mid-South play. Thomas More and Life early in the first half, and they're only early in the first half because the women's side of that game, that matchup between Thomas More and Life, had to go to double overtime before the Saints beat the Running Eagles 102-91 in double overtime. So the men just underway. Cumberland's and Lindsey Wilson still yet to get going as well. And that'll be an interesting one there, too. Can Lindsey Wilson hold serve against a rapidly improving Cumberland's team?
Yeah, 15-4 are the Patriots.
After only loss in the league to Georgetown. Here is Conway. He's on. He is flat out on, folks. Conway is now 9 for 11 from the field and 24 points.
That's a quiet 24, though.
Negron straight away to Stargell. Lost it on the way up, but found it to Ridley. And now Negron. Down to 15. This is exactly how Cumberland wants to play it. Davis will try a three. Left it short. Cowherd has the rebound. It's his 7th. He'll push the pace. No numbers. He'll back it out to Conway. Heat check. He knew it. I think he thought about it, too, just for a split second before he let that one fly.
And jinx, we both said it at the same time.
That's right. Davis backs his way in and scores. Nice move by Damari Davis to use his strength down low. He has 18.
Negron tried to play a little cat and mouse with Eljay, but who saw him coming.
11 minutes to go. 78-52.
Look
Coffey
out.
on the curl. Fouled and one.
Look out, Tyler, down there. Incoming, Coffey.
Davis picks up his 3rd and the team's 5th. Timeout on the floor. Chris Coffey will go to the free throw line.
Where it's an adventure.
When we come back, 10:57 to play. Georgetown comfortably in command, heading for a 17-0 start to the year. They lead the Phoenix 80-52 on stretch. Chris Coffey stepping to the line. He has his 11th double-double of the season, currently sitting at 18 points, 11 rebounds. We'll keep an eye out on the numbers for Eljay Cowherd. He is on, in fact, with 10:57 to go. Eljay Cowherd's on triple-double watch. He has 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists thus far. Jacob Conway leading the way with 24, and we have yet to see Nico Clarith or Rade Kukabat here in the second half. It's been primarily the starting unit. Coffey's free throw, that one is no good. It has been a dismal day at the line for Coffey. He is now 2 for 8 from the line and now 13 for 31 in league play. Stargell on the drive, out to Davis. Duke wants it down low as he's posted up on Cowherd. Cumberland went to this early, and the pass entry, though, is terrible. Stargell threw it over his head, and he's back yelling at Duke. Over to Omer, wide open, set shot, and buried it. That's the 10th assist for Eljay Cowherd. Omer now with 17. Georgetown is 11 of 18 from three-point range, and a shift change coming for the Tigers at the next whistle.
Big shift change.
Ridley, nice crossover, swatted away by Coffey. Davis trying to track it down, up to Conway. He finds it, and he lays it in.
Eljay give him, say, hey, man, I've been dishing out the assist all day. Why don't you give me one?
The other side, Ridley, reverse lay-in, beauty.
He learned from the first trip through.
Ridley now with 5, 85-54. Georgetown has its largest lead. Omer, crossover, gets a screen from 17. Too strong that time. Coffey poked, distracted Stargell enough to get the ball back. Conway wide open. What do you do? How does a guy who is 9 for 12 and 4 for 6 from the field get that wide open?
Conway have no idea.
Conway has 29.
We may not see him the rest of the game, though. Up 34 right now.
88-54 with 9:42 to go.
And guess what? You still have instant offense off the bench.
Yeah. By the way, you're bringing Nico Clarith off the bench now, who came into tonight averaging 21 a night.
And Kukabat, who can also shoot.
Yes, he can. Negron, fall away over Clarith, basket and the foul.
That was a nice little acting job by Negron. I mean, that was a phantom little deal. He threw his head back and went to the ground. That's one of those Academy Award Andrea Money Howard that we haven't talked about in a while. Andrea Howard School of Acting.
Negron's free throw is short. Boombo returns in, has the board. Here is Clarith in transition.
Oh,
pass
nice.
over to Kukabat
nice look.
there.
Yep, good look.
I don't think Kukabat was expecting it.
Yep.
That's just the 5th turnover for Georgetown tonight.
Wow. And playing at the speed they play at, that's ridiculous.
Wales picks up Stargell. Starkey now to Bloom. He's working against Kukabat. Similar bodies there, and Posh got lost. And Duke lays it in. He has 18.
Yeah,
that is not a way to earn yourself minutes going forward if you're Posh.
He turned around and looked at the bench, and nobody on the bench is saying anything.
There's nothing the bench can say. That was on him all the way. Clarith all the way through traffic will go to the line.
I think that was going to be a pass, but they're going to call it a shooting foul.
Negron gets called for his first and the team's 6th. It'll put Nico Clarith at the line. He is a terrific free throw shooter at 87%.
But like I said, I think that was supposed to be a pass because he was looking for Boomba on the other side of the basket of the lane there.
Ooh, brick.
You jinxed him, brother.
Georgetown now 8 of 18 from the line.
Most of those are CC.
And Coffey's 2 of 8. Kyron Jones bricked a couple in the first half. Boomba's missed 1. And now Clarith has missed 1. That's much better. Clarith now with his 6th point.
That's much more Nico-like.
89-58, 8:50 to go. Stargell down low. Good position by Starkey. Way too strong off the glass. Clarith pulls up. That's a 3. Not there that time. Kukabat came flying in, but Bloom has it. Stargell.
Nice defense.
Great defense from Clarith. Stargell eventually gets it back, though, trying to work his way through the trees, and Clarith's going to get called for the foul as he dropped the sledgehammer down on Stargell.
He's mad because he missed that shot a moment ago. And how many players we got in double figures right now?
Yeah, Georgetown right now showing 4 in double figures. Conway with 29, Coffey with 18, Omer 17, Cowherd with 12. Posh and Kyron Jones, the only 2 Tigers who have seen the floor today, have yet to score. Check that. Wales has also not scored, but Wales has not attempted a shot. And Stargell hits the free throw for point number 8, right at his season average.
Well, Posh hadn't even looked at a shot today.
No, and I don't believe he's credited with 1 shot. I think he missed a floater inside, but Wales hasn't, and I don't think Jones has either. Stargell goes 2 for 2. 89-60. So Georgetown's streak of 4 straight allowing 61 or fewer in the league will likely go by the wayside unless Georgetown can pitch a shutout over the final 8:15.
That's a possibility, too.
Wales back out to Clarith and back. Wales going against the 6'11 Starkey. Inside, Boomba, what a pass. What a pass. Wales has the assist, the 21st assist of the night for Georgetown.
On how many makes?
35.
That's nice.
That's
a wonderful.
That's a 60% assist rate.
That's a wonderful percentage rate.
Stargell down the lane, swatted away by Kukabat. Foul's going to be called, though, on Boomba. I think he got some body contact down low before Kukabat came with the block. That is Boomba's 4th. I can tell Boomba's a little frustrated right now, just seemingly can't get out of the way.
Coffey's begging Briggs to go back in.
I wouldn't be surprised if the starting crew gets 1 more run.
Here you go.
Maybe for just a few more minutes.
Coffey got up to come down to the scorer's table, and Conway told him to sit back down. So Coffey threw the towel at him. We were talking about how loose this team was last year. This might be even more loose team as far as just having fun and enjoying each other.
And the thing I like there is Stargell misses the free throw is that Rade Kukabat's already one amongst them.
Yep.
They've welcomed him in, and he's interacts with the teammates as if he's been here all along. Clarith going to try and go one-on-one, lost it, got it back. Shuffle inside to Posh. Another great dime from Nico Clarith.
That's
great cut from Posh for his first basket, 93-60, 7:20 to go.
That's how you share the basketball. Now we got to get Wales and Jones on the board scoring.
Stargell down the lane. Nice drive in the finish. Telling you, he's a good-looking prospect.
He is, but he is bought into the trash talking that Eljay's given him.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, but gone a lot of one-on-one, and I know Jeremy Lewis, his style, he does not like a lot of one-on-one stuff.
But the thing that you like there is Stargell hits the free throw, as he's proven here not only today at times, but also through the course of the year, he can back it up.
Well,
he can create. It's one thing to be able to trash talk and not do anything on one end. Wales wants a three. Okay. That's his second of the season and the 13th of the night for Georgetown. The Tigers are shooting 62% from three-point range.
Look out.
Here goes Boomba. How about we bring the house down? Oh, no. Oh, no.
He threw it over the rim.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Hugo.
Look at his teammates.
He's not even looking to the bench. Boomba isn't.
Oh, and guess who's leading? It's not Chris Coffey.
Oh.
Michael Toure is over there.
Oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
He's going to hear about that one.
Oh, my goodness.
Boomba's hoping now for his sake he gets another crack at it. Nice backdoor cut, but Duke lost the ball. Wales. Over to Kukabak, had it poked away from behind. Didn't feel the presence of Stargell. Just a sixth turnover for Georgetown. Here, Stargell going back this side. Over to Bloom. Checks the line. Gives it up. Negron, three. No. Clarith. Now Negron. He got it back. Duke. His first miss from downtown tonight. He's 3 for 4. 6:05 to play.
Oh, that hurts. His teammates are, boy, I tell you.
Here is Kukabak. Love to see him get going here before the night wraps up. Posh, look at that going behind the back and then got a little too fancy with it and turned it over. Stargell, one-on-one with Clarith. Clarith blocked the shot, but going to get called for body contact.
But no easy shots, though. I like the fact you got 11 bodies over there. Actually, you got 12 now dressing for Georgetown. You can challenge like that.
Clarith picks up his fourth. We have a timeout on the floor. Georgetown about to crack the century mark. Once again this season, it'll be the 7th time they do it. They're at 96 right now, up by 33, under 6 to go on stretch. (96-63). Number 1 Georgetown leads Cumberland University with 5:46 remaining in this contest. Georgetown next in action Thursday night on the road at Campbellsville. Always a hotly contested game between these two schools, especially down at Campbellsville. Not to say it isn't here, but a much smaller environment down at Campbellsville lends itself to a very hostile environment.
They're almost on top of you, especially
they are.
On the benches or the bleachers across the way from the benches.
And Georgetown returns back here to Davis Reed Alumni Gym next Saturday afternoon to take on the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson. We'll have that coverage for you here on Stretch with the women's game to tap at 2, the men to follow at approximately 4 p.m. Stargell's nice night continues. He has 13 points. He was fouled by Clarith before the timeout. That is Nico Clarith's 4th foul. Stargell misses that one. Boomba pulls down his 6th rebound.
Georgetown's owned the glass, too.
Yeah, plus 10 now on the boards. Here is Clarith working against Negron.
Oh, wow.
Clarith, shake and bake, back him down, up and under move, fall away. Gets it to go. That is good defense by Negron, who kind of put his hand up saying, what else do you want me to do? Clarith has 8.
And then Chris Briggs just looks down at the bench because Eljay or Coffey had something to say that cracked him up.
Stargell working against Wales. Freshman, redshirt freshman on a redshirt freshman there. Starkey hits a three-pointer. Just his 4th of the season gets him on the board.
Yeah, 6'11" guy stepping out.
Well, if he puts that together, he's just a redshirt sophomore, so you figure he's got a couple of more years of development. That could be a nice little weapon. Here is Kukabat working against Stargell on the baseline and lost it out of bounds. 8th turnover for Georgetown.
With the way Georgetown plays, though, and right now with 4:45 and the clock moving, you got less than 10 turnovers. That's phenomenal.
And especially, as you mentioned earlier, given the style of play which Georgetown likes to play. It's not a half-court game that the Tiger coaching staff wants. They have dictated the pace really throughout. Here is Duke at the top being checked by Posh. Fall away. I don't know how that even got up near the rim, and now it's 2-on-1 the other way. Expect Wales through the way. I thought Posh was going to keep running to throw the lob, and Negron stayed back to deny that, and Wales says thanks. And Georgetown, for the 7th time this year, has gone over the 100-point mark as Starkey lets that one go. Doesn't connect, though. Clareth has the board. Boomba was running on the left baseline for a dunk, and Clareth didn't see him. Here is Posh. Kicks it out to Kukabat. Good feed inside to Boomba. Boomba. Spin to the baseline. Basket and the foul. That's a pretty move and a veteran move by Hugo Boomba.
That'll get his teammates somewhat off his back for the missed breakaway dunk.
That's big for him, too. He's a guy who has to come in, defend, rebound, but to have him, if he can start giving you nights like this, 6 to 8 points, primarily coming off the bench. I know he started here today, but, that would only add to what Georgetown has in its arsenal. He misses the free throw, though. He's 0 for 2. He is also not a good free throw shooter at 42%. Amari Tyler set the check in. The baseball team asking for it, and Chris Briggs obliges. Asher Bloom inside, poked away by Posh, and now a late whistle comes in, and a foul is going to be called, I believe, on Posh. They're going to say he used the forearm to gain an advantage. That's his 2nd foul in the team's 9th. And Amari Tyler does indeed enter the game. Nico Clareth heads out. Likely the final time we see.
Nope, going to come for Boomba.
Boomba. Good night, though, for Boomba. Despite foul trouble, 8 points and 6 rebounds for the senior.
Too. That probably didn't get credited, but he got.
He can be that Edson Avila type that's just going to come in, do the dirty work, get you a couple of rebounds, get some rebounds, get you some putback points.
Get you a charge, taking a couple times or something.
He reminds me in that similar type of mold.
He does, but he has the footwork and the hands of DeAndre McWhorter, though. He can go out and get you, 16 or something if you need him to.
Clareth, right by Bloom. That's unfair.
Yep.
Clareth becomes the 5th Tiger into double figures. It's 104 to 68, and we still have 3:10 to go.
And we're close to having probably 5 or 6 in double figures.
Negron, bounce feed down low to Davis, just lost it.
Well, that was a bullet right off the ground. Looked like one of those golf balls that you would bounce in your the old tile bathrooms back in the day.
See if Georgetown can get Omari Tyler a look. And as I said before, I'd like to see Rade Kukabat get another try at it. Going to take him, likely going to take him a few games to settle in. He's fine.
Clareth off the glass.
That's the 14th three of the night for Georgetown. The Tigers are shooting 62% from downtown.
What are they shooting overall?
Bloom inside, challenged by Kukabat. Tigers now over 65%. Kukabat gets called for a foul, looks to the bench and says, come on. Kukabat gets called for his 2nd as Damari Davis heads to the line. Good first half for Davis. Very quiet here in the 2nd stanza. Has just 4 of his 18 since the break. Now make it 19. Cole Monson checks in for the first time. Freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee for Cumberland. Just the 6th game he has seen action in this year. Has played a grand total of 14 minutes. Posh has the rebound off the missed foul shot. Clareth in rhythm, and that one just does not get the friendly bounce. Clareth now 5 of 9 from the floor. Negron, good challenge by Tyler, but Negron go over the top, hits the bucket. He has 6. 107-71. 2:10 remaining here at Davis Reed Alumni Gym. Wales over to Tyler, now to Posh. Posh saying, Omari, come get it. Shot clock down to 15.
Yeah, they're trying to give him a shot. Wales looking and say, what?
Wales going to work on Levere. Fancy handles there, and most importantly, he finished it. He's a redshirt freshman. Levere, nice feed inside to Bloom. Blocked by Posh.
Baseball team hollering to get Omari a shot.
Clarith inside, off balance. Probably not a good decision there from Clarith. Posh just stole it away from Bloom. You talk about picking the pocket. Posh with 4, and it's now 111 to 71. Fourth time the Georgetown's either been at or surpassed 111 on the year. Davis going to work on Kukabat, and a foul will be called on the drive. I think they're going to get Kukabat with a reach. It'll be his third.
PA announcer had to slow down to think of how to pronounce the last name of Rade Kukabat.
Well, the first time he's being called here at Davis Reed Alumni Gym. Davis, free throw good. He has 20 to lead the way for the Phoenix. 1:06 to play, and what has been a Georgetown rout since the tap. Free throw again, no good. Kukabat pulls down his second board, and now Clarith will bring it up and give way to Wales.
Yep. They're trying. You can hear the baseball team down below us hollering 22, 22. They're trying to get Omari Tyler a shot.
But all that's really left to see what Georgetown can do is can they get Omari Tyler a look. He's hiding out in the top corner. Wales poked away, got it back, out to Clarith with the shot clock winding down, bullseye. Another cool, calm, collected 16 points from Nico Clarith, the 15th Georgetown 3.
15 for what?
15 out of 24. Here is Wales. Up ahead to Clarith, the lob. There's a flush.
That's an exclamation point.
Good night, everybody. The other side, Davis inside to Bloom, who both were cherry picking.
That was a great pass by Nico.
And coaching staff says that's enough. And Wales didn't get himself established, and they were just trying to run the clock out. And it'll end up being Georgetown's 9th turnover, and that's where they'll finish. 15 seconds to play. Georgetown leading 116 to 74. Let's see if Cumberland elects to try something here in the waning seconds, and Jeremy Lewis says don't do it.
You think if you got 74 points on the board, you got a pretty good shot of winning on the road. Not in this building if this team plays like they did tonight.
This was an absolute beatdown from the opening tap as Georgetown now with a full allotment of bodies to burn through puts 116 points on the board to improve to 17-0 on the year. That's the best start ever under Chris Briggs and the best since 2007-2008 when the Tigers started 34-0 before and wound up reaching the Fab Four. Cumberland, meanwhile, falls to 10-9 on the year and 2-5 in league play.
And oh, by the way, I didn't know if I heard you say this earlier in the broadcast. Not that's the 27th straight win for Georgetown,
dating back to last year. Now 27 in a row for the Tigers. Georgetown winds up shooting 66% from the field, 63% from three-point range. Jacob Conway, the high-point man, 29 points. Chris Coffey has his 11th double-double, 18 and 12. Eljay Cowherd back to form with 12 points and 11 assists. So good day overall for Georgetown. The women get an exciting win in the waning seconds over Cumberland. The men in control throughout as they take Cumberland behind the woodshed for a 116-74 win. Our next broadcast comes a week from today when the Blue Raiders of Lindsey Wilson College come calling to Davis Reed Alumni Gym. Coverage beginning at approximately 1:45 Eastern Time, leading up to the top of the women's game at 2 and the men to follow at 4 o'clock. Good day all around for the Tigers, Darren.
It was, and I tell you what, partner, always good working with you.
Absolutely.
Always good working with you.
Good to be back in form. And
I actually worked with a legend this week in my high school broadcast. Happy Osborne was over my neck of the woods, and
he would be proud of this.
He'll be here probably for the Lindsey Wilson game
maybe see
as
if we can
well.
Have him come up and talk to us maybe at halftime.
He'll talk.
We know that. But Coach Osborne, happy with this result, no pun intended there, as he should be. Georgetown steamrolls Cumberland by a score of 116-74. Again, 17-0. It's the best start ever under Chris Briggs And they'll be looking for more come Thursday night at Campbellsville for a men's and women's doubleheader. And again, we're back here next Saturday night when the Tigers host Lindsey Wilson. That'll wrap up our coverage here today for everybody at the Tiger Sports Network. Plus, my partner Darren Douglas, I'm Jason Griever. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a Georgetown sweep today as both the women and the men take care of Cumberland here at Davis Reed Alumni Gym as you've been watching Georgetown College basketball on Stretch.